Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Doug the Retirement Guy. A lot of information here. We have the YieldMax Weekly ETF Group #1 review. Who is the best? Who has the best income? We share it all. This has been updated for November 18th of 2025. Now, if you all know, we've had some big changes in YieldMax. They announced their split earlier this week. And so now let's see how things have come about after that, how prices have come up or down, and see where we go from there. So before we do that, we got to get into a big shout out to our Patreon, our YouTube subscribers. You guys are phenomenal. You keep this channel rolling. And also our YouTube members. We opened that up to everybody. If you want to support the channel, you can do it through Patreon, or you can just do it through YouTube membership. Either way, we appreciate everything that you do for us. Let's get into today's video, and don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification.
Notice to all viewers, past performance does not guarantee future results. This information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you're looking for financial advice, always contact a financial advisor.
So let's take a look at the growth of the funds and the value of the funds. And when we look at it, the only one really that we need to talk about would be SLTY, the Ultra Short Option Income Strategy. That one was up 2.72%. Now, I will honestly say if that fund is not up during the market that we currently are establishing, then something's majorly wrong, because that fund is going short on everything, and that's what's happening in the marketplace. Across the board, though, we're looking between a 2 to, basically 2 to 10% drop off on every other fund. The only fund also to talk about was going to be CHIPY, CHPY. The semiconductor portfolio is still got a positive growth at 22.28% for year to date. Other than that, every other fund has been down. It pretty much what was expected. I personally expected to see something even bigger than this, but overall, can't say too bad. Let's take a look at distributions. And we'll look at distributions. SLTY, again, has its largest distribution of the week at 76.53 cents per share, up from 58. Second place goes to the RDTY, which is the Russell 2000. That one is down, but still is 44 cents versus 45 cents. And then CHIPY is down 4 cents from 45 to 41. That gives you first, second, and third. Distribution rates, SLTY holding in there at 101.61. ULTY is pulled up a little bit to 80.65. And third place goes the Dorsey Wright Featured 5 Income at 72.30%. Now, I do put a note out here. ULTY paid out one of the two funds that was up. They paid 6.42 cents versus the 6.2 cents of last week. But again, they used 100% return of capital. And that's a fund that is splitting, doing a reverse split of 10 to 1. So I just had them make note of that again. They came up just a hair, in the payoff, but they had to use 100% return of capital to do that. All right, the fund return for the week. This one I explained to you, and I've explained to you pretty much every week so far, but this is one of the things that kind of gives me a filter to dial things in for me personally. You can use this differently. You can do it how you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular retail person who just buys and sells stocks. So what I do here is I take the dividend and divide it by the purchase price to find out how much of your price of this week went to the new dividend. And the goal is always try to get something about 1.5 and higher for me. That's my rule of thumb. It works well for me when I'm getting 1.5% a week from a fund. And the only two that actually fell into that category is SLTY at that 1.95%, and ULTY actually came in at 1.56%. ULTY, we're not going to hammer on this one. I think we've beat this horse to death already. that ULTY is going through its split. It's trying to regenerate. They're not changing strategy. They're not changing anything other than taking shares back and increasing their value. So I'm not going to talk much about that one, but SLTY shows that it's still holding good with a strong dividend and holding a price gain so far. So that's another strong one that I will be personally looking at to see, does it fit my strategies, does it fit my portfolios, and how does it work. Everything else is really below that 1.5, so it really stays, the filter holds it back from me even evaluating it and going any deeper into it. And that's, unfortunately, that's YieldMax's problem, that they're not generating the income that we would expect from it, and it's just not worth the risk, in my opinion. The return on investment, we look at this across the board. Return on investment is my rule of thumb. How I do things is, I want to have, if I put money into a fund, I want to see if I can get my money back out within 1 year. If I can normally do it in 1 year, it's worth being into it, especially in weeklies. But that could be different from you, of course. That's just my own opinion. It's nothing set in stone. So we'll take a look at this, and the first one is LFGY, the crypto industry. Even with the struggling market of crypto, this one still comes in at 54 weeks. So just a hair over that 52-week mark. Number 2 in the list, SLTY, coming at 62. So that's 10 weeks over my goal. And then YieldMax popped right back on my screen again. We were against YieldMax for a little bit, came back, and now we're looking at 66 weeks, so about a year and a quarter to get back in there. Now I do note again, ULTY comes in at 54 weeks, but it's also, and you look at that dividends down to 7 cents. This is why we use the 4-week average, so you have a better idea of what's coming about with it. It came into it, but I just don't trust ULTY until the thing does its reverse split, settles back into it, and see if they change their strategy. Now, this is probably the biggest number that we watch across the board, and that is the total return. And on total returns, SLTY comes in at number 1 with 101.61, with a 27% loss in growth for a 74.57% total return. Number 2 is the CHIPY, CHPY, the semiconductor, came in at 61.93. So the distributions are a little bit lower at 39.65, but the year-to-date is added big to it for the 22 to give them that 61. And then LFGY, the crypto program, 70% distribution, nice number there, negative 26.99% loss for a 43.73. You can see across the board total returns on YieldMax has dramatically reduced down to the bad press that they've lately got. So again, I go back, the market is down, the negativity is down, people are not as comfortable, from what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. My opinion onto it is that they're down, everyone's struggling, and the numbers all show that. So let's take a look at the top funds. Some of the stuff that I personally would be looking at to either add to my portfolio or check my portfolio, see how it's doing. And for total returns, SLTY, CHIPY, LFGY are the 3 funds. Yes, it's number 1, 2, and 3. Because of the returns, it's the only funds, in my eyes, in my opinion, that makes any sense to even be evaluating. On the return on investment, LFGY and SLTY both fall under my rule of thumb, under that, in that close to that 1 year category. And then for dividend returns, ULTY, I've told you, I'm not going to buy into it. I will wait until the reverse split takes hold and then evaluate what the fund will do from that point. And SLTY is the only one that pays over that 1.5 percentage. So we'll we'll investigate that and see if that distribution is really there. Is it is it just a rare case, or is it the market showing us that it's paying out some higher dividends? But other than that, this will take basically 12 funds down to about 4 funds for me to research and go from there. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me your comments. How do you think YieldMax or YieldMax is going to do this week? You like it? You don't like it? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you for watching. Press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join. Leave any comments below and join our Patreon to support the channel. I'm Doug, the Retirement Guy.